I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. I am back, child. If y'all missed my review from about, 15 minutes ago, I did the latest episode of Potomac. Make sure you check it out, okay? I was just watching a little bit of it before I came on just to see how it went, and if I laugh at myself, I'm okay. So I was able to laugh at myself, unlike Angel, child. Angel be having herself in a mood. Anyway, we are back to talk about Tamar, Tony, Trina, and Tawanda, who is there in spirit, child. Woosah, Woosah, the sisters. Y'all know, unfortunately, I dropped the ball with getting this review out, but I'm going to give y'all all of the episodes that I missed because I promised myself. I had some things going on personally, but I promised myself that I was going to do everything I said I was going to do. I promised y'all these reviews. You get another review, okay? What is up? Welcome. Hit the like button, share the video, all the things. Y'all can talk to me. Y'all can stay quiet, whatever you like to do, child. Sometimes I like to clean the house and listen to people do the reviews. I'm not always in the chat, you know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate when you're in the chat, okay? Just so you know. I love to see what you guys have to say about the episode. So we're going to start with episode 6. If y'all remember, Tamar was eating lunch with someone who was helping her promote, get out there and, do some performances. Anyway, she basically breaks down. She starts crying to him because she was telling him about her relationship with her sisters, right? Thank you, Miss Lady D Keys, for coming back through. You guys, Lady D Keys is a moderator. She volunteers her time on this channel. So I always like to say hello to her, and I ask that y'all say hello to her as well. Anyway, so Tamar's, she's upset. She's emotional. She said, I don't think my sisters like me. I don't think they care about me the way I care about them. I am always the one to apologize. I am always the one to, I have to fight to prove my point. And at this point in my life, I don't know if I should be fighting this hard to have a relationship with people that she doesn't believe love her, like her, or would give her the same. Okay, so come on in, hit the like button, share the video. This actually, it kind of broke my heart a little bit. Now, I told y'all that my mama was a Pisces, that I do understand the Pisces, child. They love hard. They give their last. That was my mama's affliction. You know what I'm saying? Like the last of anything, she would be like, oh, I want to help them. You know what I'm saying? And then when it doesn't come back to her in return, she gets upset and hurt. And this is how Tamar feels. Now, I know Tamar punches a lot, but baby, by the time we get to the end of this episode, I was able to see what she meant with pretty much everything. So just so y'all know, talk to me about it if y'all think I'm wrong. But the way Tamar laid that shit out, and she has to do it in a way where she's not emotional. Because when she's emotional, you can't hear it. But when she was able to take a breath and say, this is what you did, I was like, bitch, she did do that. She did exactly that. So come on in, hit the like button. Okay, I see some Pisces in the house. Yep, a Pisces here. Okay, listen, y'all know I talk about my mama all the time. I talk about my mama all the time, child. But yes, I do understand the Pisces, okay? So come on in. I love my mama. I'm going to get fired trying to watch this live, child. Turn it down. Turn it down. Put your headphones in and listen. So anyway, she says that. She says, I'm not the worst motherfucker. I'm not the worst motherfucker in this family. And I'm tired of people treating me like I'm not, I'm not the giver. Because she is.
When that family needs something, she gives. Even when she didn't have it like that. I told y'all, Tony had said in the old school Braxton, she said, bitch, none of my sisters helped me take care of my mama. None of y'all, except for Tamar. And when Tamar wasn't even married to Vince, Tamar said, bitch, here's my proportions, okay? It may not have been as much as I was doing, but she still gave. None of you do. That's very typical of the Pisces. Very typical. You know what I'm saying? So she said, with everything I know, oh, Miss Lady D Keys is a Pisces too. See, maybe that's why y'all are attracted to my channel, because I be knowing some things. Okay. So she said, we got to see that insight for her. So she said, when Tawanda wanted that house, who did she call? She didn't call Tony. You know what I'm saying? She didn't ask mom to sign for that house or to give. She called me and I did it, right? So they know who to call when, and she said, I'm always stand up. I always help my sisters. I'm not the worst mother in this family, but I get treated like the worst. Okay. So anyway, I like these last episodes. I'm going to say that. And I hope everybody had a chance to look at it from her perspective. Tony is Tamar's closest sister. I do believe that. And I also think that Tony knows. I think Tony and Tamar have more in common than the other sisters. But anyway, moving forward. Now Trina and Tony go shopping, okay? Trina is trying to find some office furniture for her small little office. And she said Tony was there to help her out, baby. Anyway, she says, listen, I'm going to show you some pictures of what the office looked like because we can't get too crazy. I'm basically in a shoebox, and she's showing her how small her desk is. It's not even really a desk. It's like a desk you would give to a child, right? She's like showing her how small the desk is, but they're at this nice place to buy furniture. And Tony's like, where are you? How would you even buy furniture for this place? She was like, well, just look through my phone at the picture. Look at the phone, at the pictures, and tell me what you think. Well, Tony went scrolling through those damn pictures, child. She done went way too far and ended up seeing Von's fupa and his Franks and beans. Okay, his Frank and beans. And Tony literally passed out. She went, oh Lord, my eyes. And she like flops down in one of the chairs, and she said, Trina, why would you give me that phone? She went, Tony, I told you just to go to this picture. You weren't supposed to go that far. She was like, well, bitch, you shouldn't even have this in your phone like this. I was crying. That was hilarious. Anyway, Tony getting confessional. She said, I'm never going to be able to look at that man the same way again. Okay. Trina said, well, I told you it was just a little space. She said there was nothing about that picture. Nothing about that picture that was little, child. Don't ever give me your phone again. I should know better. Listen, the fact that Trina is still nasty. Trina was always the nasty sister doing way too much. But the fact that she is still way too nasty, even now, child, you would have thought that Vaughn had brought her down a peg, but no, child. Her and Vaughn be still doing all types of crazy shit, okay? Anyway, they make little jokes about things. Trina tells her sister that Vaughn has congestive heart failure. And she said that the man is really cantankerous, which just is another way of saying that he gets on her ass. He cusses her out. And I told y'all that in my other review. I said, Trina has to fight that man for food, about that food. I know she does, based on some of them lives that I saw, okay? She said, I got to fight him to get him to eat a certain way. She was like, and sometimes it gets on my nerves, and sometimes I just have to pull back and realize that when he's cussing at me and fussing at me, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? He has an addiction, and he does. He said he was over 300 and something pounds. And she also says that his mother died of the same disease, congestive heart failure. Okay. I'm just going to put all these scenes in order because they were bouncing all around. But Vaughn basically, she said that they've tried to change their lifestyle. If you've seen recent pictures of Trina slimmed down. Like you could see on the show this past season, she had those bags under her eyes and her face just looked like it was unnatural. for her. She was carrying weight that didn't belong to her. That's the best way to put it. That's what they say. Child, that weight, sometimes people gain weight and it looks good, and sometimes you be carrying shit that don't belong to you. She was carrying some weight that didn't belong to her. But now she looks like she's slimmed down a little bit. I can't tell if Von has, but Trina said, I got to fight this man, and the only way in order to get him on the healthy track, you said them bags is from drinking. Well, maybe she stopped drinking too, because from what I'm understanding, Von has damn near kidney failure, liver failure, and congestive heart failure. His doctor said the 3 organs that keep your body ticking is fucking screaming for mercy. You have to stop everything. And he said he asked the doctor if it's possible he could pass away in 2 to 3 months or 3 to 5 months. And they told him, yes, if you don't change everything that you're doing immediately, you're going to meet your maker. So Trina tells all of this to her sister, Tony. Tony said, I'm going to pray for him. Trina said, you going to pray? Wait a minute. You're going to pray for Von? She said, bitch, I'm not. Listen, I'm not the devil. Yeah, I'm the Tony Braxton, but I'll throw a prayer in for Von too. I'll throw him a prayer. Okay. But yeah, so that's how all that ended. Anyway, moving on. Now we are with Tony and her son, Denham. Is Denham her youngest son or her older son? It's Denham and Diesel. Anyway, they go and he goes to get fitted. I guess he's one of the groomsmen in Tawanda's wedding. So he goes to get fitted for the wedding. He looks exactly like Kerry Lewis, his daddy. His brother looks more like him though, because he has like very light skin, but they look just like they damn daddy. Okay. Anyway, he is graduating. He has a fashion degree. So he wants to be in the fashion child. And Tony decides to buy this boy an electric Maybach for his graduation gift. Okay. He pulled up into his parking space. I'm assuming it was for his house or whatever, but he pulled up and there was someone else, or what he thought was someone else in his parking space. It was actually his car. But when he got out, you can see how the brat come out of them damn kids, just like on Married to Medicine with little Cecil. Little Cecil is little Michael, but little Michael said, bitch, you got it. Why would I pay for something you already got? We'll get to Married to Medicine later, but the way Simone lost her damn mind on last night's episode, child, my heart, I was like, I felt all of that, and I raised you, because he would have got smacked. He would have got smacked in the mouth in my house, okay? Anyway, Diesel almost flipped out and said, I ain't never had nobody in my parking space. Can you call the front desk? Can you call the concierge and get them to move this damn car? And whoever was trying to film his reaction, they were like, well, I could, but it's your car. And he was like, oh no. She said, yeah, this is your graduation gift. So he was so excited to have his car. I do like to see little Black kids get, their comeuppance. I thought that was nice. It's a nice car, child. That's an expensive ride. So come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have all of you back. So yeah, that's what's going on with Tony and Diesel. She done got them big, baby. That's all you want when you're a mama or a daddy. Get them big. Now it's their time to go out and make their mark. So it's nice to see her bring the children on as adults, right? All right, next scene was the blind date. Tawanda and her fiance, Sean, have decided to set Tawanda's mama up on a blind date with a guy named Mr. Larry, child. I know that Evelyn was just playing ball by dating Mr. Larry, because she does not give a shit. She's not looking for no man, child. All she's trying to do is get her life right with the Lord. And every day she opens her eyes, it's a blessing. She ain't trying to get into no relationship, but she's doing it for the show. Okay, Mr. Larry was sitting there trying to make jokes and stuff. They went to dinner. Sean and Tawanda decide they're going to sneak out of the dinner so that Mr. Larry and Evelyn can be alone. Evelyn said, listen, that child is mine. I already know what she's about to do before she does it. They left, and she said, something tells me Tawanda and Sean has left. And he was like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? She said, yeah, I guess I'll talk to you. But at the end of the day, she wasn't interested in that man at all. She said, this is some good ass fish. I'm gonna have to come back to this restaurant. I'm gonna have to come back to this restaurant, okay? She sat at the table so long waiting to see if Mr. Larry was going to invite her to the wedding. Like, why don't we come together? When she realized he wasn't going to do it, she was like, so are you going to the wedding? He said, I haven't been invited. She went, you haven't been invited? Off camera, she says, I swear to God, every time these kids try to do some shit, in particular to Wanda, I have to go behind her and like basically fix everything she started. So she said she was supposed to get this shit rolling. If she didn't get it rolling, I'll do it. So she ends up inviting him. Do you want to come along as my plus one? He's like, are you serious? Are you? She said, is that what gets you excited? Okay, is that what gets you excited? Ciao, bye. You have me wanting to watch the show. Listen, my review is way better than most of the shows. I'm going to tell you right now. I just know how to put a little sauce so I can entertain y'all on this platform. But yeah, she said, I'm going to invite you. So not only did Tawanda drop the ball running out of there, neither her or Sean, y'all are the two who know the man, okay, especially Sean, said, hey, why don't you just ask Mama E if she wants to come along or be the date? Mama E said, F it, I'll go along, child. I need a dance partner when we do the electric slide. It's fine. Otherwise, I don't give two shits. I'm going to eat this meal, catch this Uber back to the house, and it'll be fine, okay? Anyway, in the next scene, we have Miss Tamar. She's at home. I'm assuming this is her house. And she is sitting and she's talking to a psychic medium. This is somebody that she has that's a part of her life that she talks to about her family and her sisters. And she asked the psychic, this is important. Tamar has such a rough relationship with her sisters that she has a psychic to help her understand what they might be thinking or what they're going, how they react to her. Okay, so she's telling the psychic about being disinvited to Tawanda's wedding. She said, I personally, I don't think she wanted me there in the first fucking place. I think she set me up for the okie doke. She made it seem like she wanted me invited, only to bring me into a space where her and I would get into it, and I would be disinvited from the wedding. And she said that shit hurts, but I'm gonna take it on the chin because this is where I am with these people in my family. Okay. She said that I was gaslit from the jump. That's her exact words. I was gaslit from the jump. Then she says, I want to fix it because no matter where I am with my sisters, I always want to make it better. Right. And she says to the psychic, I'm thinking about hosting a sister retreat to see if we can get back on track, have some sort of peace or understanding, or at the very minimum, if we decide that we just don't want to F with each other anymore, let's do it in a way where we are at least on peaceful ground. Because I guess she has some guilt about what happened between her and Tracy. And so she's saying, even if we don't talk to each other anymore, I just want us to be able to say, I love you. Maybe we just don't have an energy for each other in the space that we are in right now. But I don't want us to be in a bad place because that would be heartbreaking for her on the other side, right? So she tells the psychic that, and the psychic tells her that's a great idea. I agree with it. That's exactly what you should do. And then in the next scene, we have Miss Trina, who is selling a home to Faison Love. Let's see. Tawanda was on Ayanla. She was jealous from way back. Now, they always say how they were so close when they were growing up and they were all under one roof. They were very, very close. But when they started, breaking off and their careers started growing, that's what brought in a lot of the division. So it would not surprise me if jealousy is at the root of it, right? That's what it looks like. But anyway, Trina is selling a home to Faison Love. And I want to say I had saw Faison Love when I was when I lived in St. Louis. My husband and I had saw him at a comedy club. We were sitting right on the stage. When I tell y'all that's the biggest man I've ever seen in my entire life, I mean, in my entire, he is huge. He is huge. Okay. And he was so funny. I snorted when I laughed, okay? And he had stopped, you don't want to get made fun of. He literally stopped his jokes just to stare at me like, should I say should I say something? I was like, oh God, please don't. He actually gave me a break. But yes, that was hilarious. I love to go to the comedy clubs. Anyway, Trina shows Faison a home. Y'all know Trina's trying to get everybody's promoting their businesses. Tamar is doing her music thing. Trina wants everybody to know that she has passed her real estate license and she is out here, selling homes to celebrity clients. So she has her client and he buys a home from her. So it was cool to see, but that's a big, I'm not even joking. I don't even know how to explain it. He has to be, I mean, he looks bigger than my couch right now. Like he was a big guy. Y'all laughing at me for saying I snorted. Child, I snorted. I snorted. Yes, I would always go to the helium. That's exactly it, Gloria. The helium over there connected to the damn to the mall, child. That was funny, funny, funny. That was my favorite comedy club. I think I had one of those membership things, but we would go there all the time. Were you there? You was probably there when I went, child. Anyway, after that, we have the rehearsal dinner. Okay, the rehearsal dinner, or just rehearsal period. Everyone is at Tawanda's rehearsal, wedding rehearsal. Everybody except for Tony, okay? But Mama E, Daddy Braxton shows up. Trina, no Tony, and of course, no Tamar, because Tamar's not invited, child. And that's how episode 6 ends. We're moving on. I told you I was going to make it as quick as possible. Now we are at episode 7, and it opens with Tamar having a meeting with her producers about her new music. And she said, baby, this needs to be my Grammy-winning season, okay? This needs to be my Grammy-winning season, not bigger than a couch. I swear to y'all, on a stack of Bibles, I've never seen a man that big to this very day. He's huge. When they said that, when that news story came out about him punching the someone at the hotel, he hit him or knocked him in the head with something. I think it was with a credit card machine. I said, I'm surprised they survived. He's that big. He's that big. Okay. Anyway. So it opens with her saying, listen, this is my Grammy-winning season. I need everybody on board thinking like this, okay? Every one of these songs are my favorite. She's talking about which song she's going to release first and all that stuff. So that was nice to see. It was nice to see her really excited. Now we are back to the rehearsal dinner for Tawanda. Now, Tawanda's talking about how she's doing everything very traditional, okay? So traditional that after they have dinner, that's the last time Sean is going to see her until he meets her at the aisle, okay, down at the altar, right? So they're talking a little bit about that. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to see my bride again. I'm not sure if what I'm watching between Sean and Tawanda is genuine. I don't know. There's something about it that's just giving me, based on Tawanda's personality, because we've seen some of those crazy fucking moments. For as crazy as everybody thinks Tamar is, Tawanda, every time Tawanda is in that crazy, I'm beating the table, I'm breaking the glass, I don't give a, everything can go, and how everyone acts like it's normal. Everyone acts like it's normal. I know we're not robots, child, and people have their moments, but Tawanda be having some fucking moments on camera, okay? Anyway, she's telling everybody how this is going to be super duper traditional. This is her first wedding. All of her sisters have had weddings. This is her first one, so she wants to do it by what she thinks is the fairy tale book, because everybody knows a wedding is never going to go the way you think it's going to go, right? Anyway, everybody gets up and they start giving speeches. Trina gives a beautiful speech about how her and
Tawanda are the closest. She said we're only 15 months apart and we are like best friends. She said we do everything together. We share the womb together, blah, 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 or, you know, that type of thing. We share the same womb, not together is how she put it. Anyway, that was a chance for Mama Braxton to get up and say, child, first of all, the only reason why y'all were 15 months apart is because your daddy was greedy, okay? Your daddy was greedy. And then off camera, you hear, and I have to say this too, because we all know that Mama Braxton doesn't give her ex-husband, Michael, not 1 inch, okay? Not 1 inch. She don't like him. She don't want to sit beside him. She don't want to say a joke about him, nothing. So right now, we are seeing a very easy phase of Mama Braxton where she just wants to make sure her children are okay. That's it. She done lost one. She almost lost her youngest with Tamar having her episode. So she, at this point, I think she just wants to see everybody happy, even if it means that y'all don't fuck with each other too good. Just find some peace in it, okay? So she's out here making jokes for Michael Braxton. I thought that was funny. Anyway, keep hitting the like button and sharing the video, you guys. Now we are at the day of the wedding, okay? And this is where Bridezilla, child, she done grew her tail extra long and she has come to this damn wedding and she is throwing it. Do you hear me? Pounding the pavement, breaking everything, breaking everything up. Tawanda didn't even get into the fucking parking lot good before she lost her damn mind, okay? This was actually funny because her daughter, what's her daughter's name? Brooke. Her daughter Brooke is in the front seat, and the way Tawanda screams, I thought Brooke would have at least did like this. Brooke didn't even shake, baby. Tawanda came into that damn parking lot and she saw the parking space she wanted because nobody was supposed to park in that front area. She was supposed to park in the parking spot that was closest to the sidewalk that got her to the door, right? Now, mind you, there's an empty spot on the other side of the car. She didn't give a damn. She said, what the fuck? Is someone parked in my parking space? She's screaming. Whoever this guy is, I don't know if it was one of the production team or if it was a wedding. I think it was the wedding planner. He comes running out. He's on a walkie-talkie. He said, what happened? What's going on? She said, nobody was supposed to park there. He was like, well, that's the groomsman car. That's the groomsman. I don't give a fuck if it was Jesus. Okay. Like, this is the energy she's giving. Brooke is on the other side, just like, that's mama, child. Mama gonna flip at least 55 times a day. I don't care if it was Jesus. Move it now. And then they show a scene of, I guess it was whoever's heading to Wanda's bridal party saying, I don't care where y'all park. There's a garage across the street. I don't care if you park on the street and handicap parking, but don't park in any of that front row parking by the door. That is for the bride and the groom. So they're screaming. And I was like, holy shit. The guy like walkie-talkies it in and they're throwing keys to each other so they can get out there and move the car. Then when Tawanda gets out the car, she is wearing a bathrobe over her head, child, like she's, I don't know, Leon Spinks or something, Mike Tyson. She gets out the car with this damn robe, walking into the building. And just that quick, for as angry as she was outside, which the way the camera cuts it, the way film cuts it, it made it seem like it was 3 minutes ago. She goes from screaming and acting a fool, like at the top of her anger game, to literally crashing out and having a breakdown because she saw a handkerchief with Tracy's name on it. It had a little hummingbird and it said Tracy. Someone stitched Tracy's exact signature into the handkerchief. Now, I don't know who brought it to her, but she was getting her eyes and stuff done, the makeup. I'm sure they had to powder her head and shit. And all of a sudden she is heaving. That's how bad she's crying. Like she's having like a, what do you call it? One of those fits, child, where you need a bag so that you can hyperventilating so that you can, catch your breath. So they're calling they're calling Trina out of another dressing room because she's getting dressed to come calm her down.
That's how crazy she was. Her mama came in, Trina came in. I was like, oh, Lord, get this girl to the altar so she can calm these damn emotions down. She is all over the place. I know that she's had a rough one, child. What are y'all saying? A panic attack? Yes, ma'am, a panic attack. I know that she's had all these things happen to her, back to back to back car accidents and stuff. But literally everything that could happen, every emotion you could feel, she was feeling. Like boom, 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 boom. I was like, she's gonna have a heart attack before she gets down the aisle. Anyway, what else happened from there? I think Tony shows up. She's a little bit late, but Tony comes in. Oh my God, y'all know Tony. It's written all over her face what she's thinking. Okay, so she walks into the room. She sees her mom and Trina. She gives them a hug. She's asking what's going on, and they're like, "Oh, she's okay now, whatever." Then she saw Brooke, and she saw that damn blue and white Raggedy Ann and Andy hair that Brooke had in her head. And you could see that Tony wanted to say, why would you choose that? Why would you choose that? Okay. You got me out here having my son meet with stylists so that he can be dressed for your wedding. And you got your daughter walking down the aisle. Now, in all fairness, Tawanda did tell her daughter to change her hair, but I'm assuming her daughter won the argument, child, because her daughter said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, okay? But now we are at the wedding. Now I have to say the wedding was beautifully planned out, okay? People had to come, the bridal party and the groomsmen, they had to come up a flight of steps and then enter so that they walked down the hall or down the aisle. That was real cute, I have to say. I really liked it. And Tony comes in, and y'all know she is a superstar, but Tony outdressed Tawanda. Tony comes down the aisle in a lace bodycon dress, child, where all she had underneath it was a tan or a brown colored bodysuit. That's it. So her ass cheeks are out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A right amount of cleavage is out. And then she has on a long sleeve lace brown bodysuit. I was like, baby, no, she didn't outdress the bride. No, she didn't outdress the bride coming down this aisle. And she walked down like, bitch, y'all know I don't play. Her son, I think Diesel and Denham were in the no, only Diesel was in the crowd. Diesel gives a look like only my mama would outdress the bride. He ain't lying, child, but he did give that look. Then here comes Miss Trina. Trina missed the mark with her dress. I'll have to say that. It was, I don't even know. It looked like it could have come from Rainbow or something like that. It didn't have fashion flair to it at all. She liked it though. She said the only thing wrong with her dress is that she didn't wear the right undergarment, because she did have a little bit of a pooch when she was walking down the aisle. It was a tight fitting dress, but that was an ugly dress. I thought that you didn't like Tony's dress. You thought it was too revealing. Tony was letting everybody know that if I have to come to this fucking wedding, I'm going to come and everybody's going to talk about me when I'm done. I'm the star, okay? I'm the star. So Trina said my butt looked good, but she didn't like the way her stomach showed in the dress. I would say that the dress wasn't great. I didn't like her dress at all, but whatever. Anyway, then we get Brooke, who comes down the aisle. When Brooke comes down the aisle, she is crying. She wasn't heaving like her mama, but everybody knows she's crying, to the point of where Miss E is like, what's wrong with the baby? Okay, is she crying? And Diesel said, yeah, happy tears, okay? Happy tears, not happy tears. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know if she likes Sean. It was giving, she doesn't like Sean. That's what it was given to me. Come on in, come on in. That's right. Y'all know the song, let's give them something to talk about. Absolutely. She was making sure that if you was going to come see her at that wedding, you were going to talk about it when you got to the car. You were going to talk about it when you got to the car, okay? Anyway, Diesel said happy tears. They end up Y'all know Tony wasn't at the rehearsal, so Tony's questioning everything. Why isn't Dad walking? She's like, Trina said, he's waiting for the bride, bitch. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Tony was so clueless. She was like, oh, every 5 seconds, child. Anyway, they all get through it. They all get through it. Okay. And then that's pretty much how it ends. Oh no. Trina actually sees, so after it's all said and done, they're married now. Okay. I's married now. And it ends. And then now everybody's out there congregating and things like that. Trina said she saw Von's doctor, his specialist, his doctor, right? And the doctor says, bitch, I just saw your husband. I called him this morning and told him he needed to go to the emergency room. He is in danger of having a stroke right here. So Trina's like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? She called and said his potassium is way too high. When your potassium's too high, you could die like right there on the spot. Von said, shit, I feel good. I had no idea. I feel fine. Everything was fine. Trina is shaking, asking production to take the equipment off of her, the microphones and stuff. And she's just like, I just need to get him to the hospital. If anything happens to him, I'm not going to be okay. I've had too much loss in my life. And she's trying to run to get to the car. Production stops her and says, can you just give me like anything about what's going on? And she said, don't ask me to have this conversation. Von said, don't worry about it. I got it. You couldn't talk for me, no way. And he said, the truth of the matter is, don't be like me. I was dumb. I did get told not to come to this fucking wedding. She said it, get to the hospital right away. I didn't do it. I feel great, but this is the example. You can't, hard head makes a soft ass. I'm on my way to the hospital now. And that's where he goes. So Trina and Von miss out for the rest of the wedding. Okay. They're not there anymore. Come on in. Come on in. You're wearing the same shirt today. You got your Tupac on. Okay. I saw a video the other day about the Brenda Had a Baby, whoever that baby was. And somebody told him that this song is about you. And he's a grown man now, but he said he had a chance to go back and meet his real mother. He was adopted. He got a chance to go back and meet his real mother and kind of chronicle that song. His mother was taken advantage of by an adult when she was a child, and he was the product of that. And he was really thrown into the garbage can. Tupac made a whole song about a child. But anyway, that Brenda's Got a Baby, I love that song. And then I saw the video of the young man who the song was about. He talked about his story, and I said I was going to wear Tupac's shirt today. So that's why I have it on. Anyway, moving on to the next. Tamar meets up with her psychic friend yet again, child. And she said, listen, everything you told me about how my sisters were going to react to the sister retreat happened exactly like you said it. Tawanda isn't coming, just like you said. And she said, Trina said yes. And Tony said yes. And she said, Tony seems more interested than Trina, just like you said. So you can tell that she leans on this lady for a lot to get information about her sisters. I said, oh my goodness. Yep. True story. So true story. So anyway, in confessional, Tamar, literally, the producer said, do you want to say anything in the aftermath of everything that's went down? Do you want to say anything? And Tamar takes a deep breath and she kind of, and then she said, I want you to know that breath wasn't because I'm exhausted or tired. It's because I want to be intentional. I want to be intentional with what I have to say to my sisters right now. And then she apologizes. She gives a very heartfelt apology. You know what I'm saying? She said, I'm hoping that we can come to a common ground or a common place, but I am sorry for what I did to my sisters. And I thought that was very genuine. And I think that moment that happened with her sisters is just replaying in her head over and over and over again. And it will until she gets some resolution, because that's just her personality. Okay. So now we are back to the wedding. Okay, my bad. Now we are back to the wedding. And the producers asked Miss Evelyn in production, the producers asked Miss Evelyn what she thinks about Mr. Larry. And she said, he's a nice guy, but he's not the god darn, okay? Stop asking me about that man. He's a nice guy. That's it. When she said he's not the god darn, I said, oh my God, what is going on? Tamar is her mama's. Her mama is Tamar. Miss Evelyn and Tamar are exactly alike. I don't care for Tawanda, but I thought she looked pretty. Yeah, it was a nice little wedding. It was a nice wedding. I actually liked it, okay? I love weddings, by the way. That's my favorite thing, child. I don't care who it is. I love to see somebody get married. I really do. Anyway, Tony is very eager to leave. You know what I'm saying? She saw Trina and Vaughn walk out, and now she's like, well, fuck, I can't sneak out because Trina gone. You know what I'm saying? So she's waiting to see if she can hear back from Trina. Are you coming back to this party? Because I got to go. I'm not even supposed to be here that long. I walked down in that dress and I was supposed to be on a plane after that. Now I got to sit here because she doesn't want to abandon Tawanda, right? She wants a sister presence there. So she's like, Mommy, do you think I should tell her now, or when should I tell her about Trina? Because she doesn't want to ruin her day. When can I tell her about Trina? Child, she ended up staying the whole day. And that tipped Tawanda off right there, because she said, listen, I've been looking around trying to find Trina and she's nowhere to be found. And Tony's still here. So clearly something's wrong or something went down. But by the end of it, Tony goes and tells her, listen, Vaughn's in the hospital for his heart. His doctor was actually at your damn wedding and told him to get himself right on down to the hospital. So that's what's going on. And we'll keep you posted, but you have a fun night. Okay. Tony gets up, makes a speech to her sister. And that was it. They start dancing to It's Like Candy. It was actually the song Candy, but they played a different song. I guess they didn't have the rights to the music to play it on the show. Don't know what happened there, but they didn't get the rights. So they played some wild version of it, a raggedy version of It's Like Candy, child. The cameo song. Anyway, we all know that Black people dance to It's Like Candy by Cameo. That's the dance you do the electric slide to. Anyway, after all of that, it wasn't a whole lot. There was a lot of, local celebrities there. I saw Mimi Faust and some others, but it was real interesting. Now we are at the Sisters Retreat. Let's get here. Okay. So if y'all watch this show, y'all know there was a lot of fillers. So I left some things out because, it just wasn't necessary for the storytelling. But we are at the Sisters Retreat. Tamar gets a beautiful house in Malibu, okay? She rents a house in Malibu, and Tony's there and Trina's there. They're the only two who want to be there. And Tamar said, have you spoken to Tawanda? Because not only is Tamar not invited to Tawanda's, wedding, but Tawanda has blocked Tamar. She doesn't want to put Tamar on any level. So she said, have y'all talked to her? And Tony and Trina are quick to say, nope, we haven't talked to her. She's on her honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? And Tamar is nodding her head like, I know you bitches are lying, right? But she was like, well, she's on her honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? She's doing her thing. She doesn't want to talk. So Tamar said, fine, I got somebody I want to bring to the table. And she walks out. And they're like, well, what's going on? Okay. They're trying to figure it out. Tamar comes back with a blow-up doll, like a real life blow-up doll. Okay. I don't know whose face was on it, but the skin color of the doll was brown. And Tamar had about 4 or 5 peanut butter crackers in the whole of the mouth of the blow-up doll. She had peanut butter crackers stuffed in the mouth, and she put her in the seat. She said, now, Tawanda's with us in spirit. Okay, bitch, woosah. And they all start laughing. They thought that shit was funny. And then I think Tony says off camera that when they were younger, when one of the sisters weren't there, they would always put a doll or someone in its place. as the imaginary sister. So Tamar was taking it all the way back to their childhood. Like, if she's not going to be here, I'm going to put her ass here in spirit. Okay. So she put the blow up doll there. And I thought that was just hilarious. That's why I have that doll. That's why I have the doll on the thumbnail, because I said, baby, that's some shit I would do. You don't want to be here? I'm going to put your ass here anyway. Okay, Tawana, you asked for it. So she put her in that seat anyway. Come on in. Hey, Ty. Nice to have you, girl. She put her in that seat anyway, baby. I thought that shit was cute. Anyway, Tamar didn't take a whole lot of time getting to it, child. There's a scene. Now, let me just say this too, because Tony's hair, she got a fresh haircut. She was wearing a short cut. Tony's short haircuts are the bomb.com. That lady looks amazing in a short haircut. She took like at least 15 years off her face with the short haircut. It was tapered on the side. It was beautiful. Anyway, all of them, the girls noticed and told her how good she looked, child. She looked amazing. But she's sitting there at the table with a knife and a fork, eating a biscuit. Okay, they're doing their small talk. She starts cutting this biscuit and popping it in her mouth. Tamar, even Trina was like, bitch, what are you doing? Like, sometimes you can be a little too bouge ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Get it together. But Tamar said, girl, what are you doing? She said, I don't want to get my nails dirty. She said, you're married to Birdman, for Pete's sake. God damn. Why do you keep pretending like you aren't married to one of the nastiest motherfuckers in the world? What do you mean? What type of relationship y'all got over there? You don't touch him at all. Okay. This is a man who falls asleep during interviews. Okay. Because he done just finished drinking some lean or some nasty shit. Anyway, when she says you're married to Birdman, Tony goes, oh, because she doesn't want her to say anything. So she's pissed. And she goes like that. She was like, what? Is it a secret? And then you see Trina whisper across, are we supposed to talk about that? Are we supposed to talk about that? And she said, no, you're not. And then she takes a deep breath. Tony takes a deep breath and she goes, when it comes to my personal, and she was about to say, when it comes to my personal life, I don't want to discuss it. But she only got 4 words out of her mouth before she burst into laughter because she couldn't even say it. Because she couldn't even say it. She just went, when it comes to my personal, and started howling. She cracks up. Everybody at the table cracks up. That breaks the ice for everyone. Okay, which I thought was cool. That was sweet. Anyway, they take a break because the first day is just supposed to be them in a light moment, right? So they take a break after that, and then we see them at the next day. So the next day, they are meditating. They have this, I guess, Tamar has set up something up for a sound bath. That's where you hit those chimes, and it's supposed to activate, I don't know, your chakras. And they also have a therapist there or someone who's going to help them walk through meditation, right? Trina, first of all, Tamar comes in with the blow-up doll. She's taking Tawanda, the blow-up doll, everywhere she goes. So Tawanda is there. Tawanda has her own mat. This blow-up doll has its own mat and everything. Trina and Tony comes in. They sit on their mats. And Tamar starts saying, first, let me thank my sister Trina, because this isn't her thing. This isn't her thing. She doesn't like this type of stuff. So her being here is really, I know she's doing it for me. So I want to thank her for that. And then she starts going into her speech. Tamar says something about how the reason why she set this entire thing up is because she made a promise to Tracy that they would all work their shit out. So this is why she wanted to bring all of them together. And while she's saying it, Trina rolls her eyes, both her and Tony. Tony catches it and Tony starts giggling a little bit. And I don't know why. I don't know if they think that this is the woo-woo part of Tamar. Like, Tamar's out here with these psychic friends and the sound baths and all that shit. So they're both giving me that this part of Tamar is somebody they don't know. Because, as you get older, you elevate, you start liking different things. But they're both there thinking this is not shit we would do for ourselves, but we're here for you, okay? And Tamar even tries to talk for Trina a little bit. Trina said, don't talk for me. I can speak for myself. That's number one. But she said, if you guys say or do anything that feels off for me, because my religion, she believed that it had something to do with religion. My religion is too important for me to play with this bullshit. This is how she puts it. Okay. I'm not here to play with y'all. If it feels like it's off, I'm going to dismiss myself from this situation. Okay. So after she says that, excuse me, they get into it and they tell them to close their eyes and lay back on their mats if they feel like it. And if you want to, you might fall asleep. Both Tony and Tamar lay back, and the blow up doll Tawanda lays back. Trina is just sitting straight up, and she said, I'm gonna keep my eyes open until I feel comfortable. So she stood straight up for, I guess, a couple of minutes, maybe 15, 30, however far, before she felt comfortable enough to lay down and fully participate. That was interesting. I just like to see where everybody is, because, you know, Tamar used to always get on Trina saying, we all grew up in the same area. We all are from Baltimore, the DMV. And Trina has this crazy ass Canadian accent. Where did it come from? Whose child are you? Right? So she's always jumping down Trina's throat about that. And it was interesting to see Trina say, Tamar, you love to say you from the hood, but you are with all the psychic mediums and, you know, your spirituality with all this stuff. So I thought it was interesting to see those dynamics. Okay. Now we are at the dinner. We're at the dinner, and this is where everything's about to pop the fuck off, because Tamar wants to get to the bottom of whether or not they're going to continue their sisterhood or not. Okay. What do y'all want from me? Okay. And Tamar says, before Ashley came on my podcast, Trina was at my house every weekend. Every weekend we were watching football. We were playing family games. You and Vaughn was hanging out with me and my crew. Like you drove an hour and 45 minutes to get to me every Sunday. And she said, yeah, I did. And she said, what happened? Right? And Trina said, you happened. You sent a group text to all of us, and you told us that you're not with this Braxton shit no more. And you told us to keep your name out of our mouth. So I did what you asked me to do. I didn't come at you. You came at me. You sent the text to all of us. So you can't say you didn't do it, right? After she does that, Tamar is like, oh, right. Because she forgot. You get so lost in your damn emotions, you forget that you might start some shit, right? So she's like, oh, okay. Then Tamar said, listen, I lashed out. I'm going to take accountability. I lashed out after I discovered that y'all gave a person my address, a cease and desist that could stop my business. I would never do that to you. Never would I try to stop your business. You stopped my business. Trina says, I didn't send it. Tony said, I didn't send it. Okay. Tamar said, that's a cop-out. And she's looking directly at Trina. That's a cop-out. She said, because you knew about it. You knew about it. You knew it was meant to hurt me. And you let it happen without telling me. Trina then admits that because y'all remember in that a couple of episodes back, Tamar said, that lawyer who sent me the cease and desist is one of Tony's best friends. They talk to each other every day. This is what Tamar says. And she said, Trina, that lawyer is your lawyer. He is your lawyer. You put him on retainer, bitch. So you can't tell me that man didn't tell y'all what he was going to do to me. So she doesn't believe it. And I understand why she doesn't. It doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense at all. So Tamar says, did you give him my address to Trina? She said, no, I didn't give him your address. And she looks over at Tony, and Tony said, I didn't know he was sending it to you. I swear. So when she says that, Tamar says to Tony only, I want to apologize to you because I accused you of knowing about it when we were at the table. I accused you of knowing about it. And here you can tell she's saying, I believe you. I believe you didn't know about it. And out of everybody at this table, Trina, I think she's saying, I believe you, Tony, would have told me if you knew. I believe you would have told me if you knew. Then she says to Trina, I think I took this out of order. Then she says to Trina, so you gave him, no, she says, so that person asked you. Tamar never says her brother's name. I don't know why she can't say my brother. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I know people were saying that there was somebody else in the church that may have abused Tamar. I'm not so sure. The way her energy is about this brother, it's real wild to me, right? She said, did you give that person my address? Or did you give that person the referral for the lawyer? And Trina said, yes, I did. Why? Was I not supposed to? Yes, I gave him the address. I gave it to him. And I went, so the real energy here is with the brother. The real energy is with the brother. That's what it feels like. There's something that the brother did that maybe Tamar tried to just go along with the family. And now she's in a place where she's like, I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with him. And y'all know I don't fuck with him. So don't put me in a position where you have him coming for me at all. That's what it felt like when I was watching it. And I rewound that part like a couple of times because I said, the way Tony keeps bucking her eyes, like, you know what I'm saying? There was something that said he might be your brother. He's not my brother. And you know he's not my brother. So why would you put me in a situation, or why would you give him anything that belongs to me? Because she said, did you give him my address? He's not even allowed to know where she lives. He wasn't at the wedding. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for blessing the channel, baby. I appreciate you. There was something funky about it. They might not be saying it out loud, but there's something wrong there. Believe that. Did you give that person my address? That's about as distant as it can be. Did you give that person my address? Anyway, when Tamar apologizes to Tony, and she is sincere as all get out, Trina's sitting over there like, bitch, I don't get an apology. And now Tamar is setting her sights only on Trina. I've let you off the hook, girl. I trust you. I think that you didn't give him. I don't think you knew anything about it either. But Trina, if you knew enough to give him the lawyer, you knew what was happening next. And at the very minimum, from what Tamar is saying here, you don't think that I was owed a heads up? Even if you thought he's still my brother, I'm going to give him the address. You don't think I'm owed a heads up? Because this is what she's saying to her. Tony said, I didn't know. It almost like I didn't know because I would have fucking told you. Trina is on the other side of that. And now she set all of her energy on Trina. Okay. Tamar says, Trina asks, since you're talking about accountability, you don't think you owe me? You don't think that you owe me an apology, that I can get some accountability for you putting your fucking hands on me? Tamar said, I didn't put my hands on you until you put your hands on me. And she insisted on it. I never touched you. You touched me. Trina says, I didn't. And she goes to this whole rigmarole where she says, I got in the middle of you and Tony because you were about to fight Tony. You were about to jump Tony. She says it like Tamar was at fault. And Tamar needs them to acknowledge that she didn't jump in Tony's face. Tony jumped in her face, which is exactly how it happened. Okay. It's exactly how it happened. And Trina is so lost in the sauce because everything Tony does is right. So Tamar saying, listen, the problem with you is the problem with the entire family is it's always blame Tamar, even if I'm the one who's being attacked. Even if I'm the one being a fucking attacked, y'all will start with me. I didn't do anything to her. I was fussing, yes, but she jumped at me. Trina said, that's not true, Tamar. Tony pipes in and says, that is how it happened. I jumped at her first. Tony was the first. She had to say it though. And then Tamar, literally, you can see in her face, like, I don't know why I can't get a break with y'all motherfuckers. But when she says it, it really helped her. It helped her. That's all I can say. You can see like it loosen up some of the things in her mind because this is how she feels. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, even with the brother. So what? This is basically what she's saying. If we can't be cool, then that's cool. Just let us just leave here peacefully and say we're not cool because y'all never choose me. Y'all choose that motherfucker, even though I told y'all what he did to me. You will choose him and not choose me. That's how she says it. Anyway, when Tony is sitting there, she almost looks super guilty. She's just kind of like sitting there and she goes, she's right. I jumped in her face first. I jumped in her face first. And that was the only thing that brought some peace to her. Tony took Tamar's side and Trina says, okay, yeah, so yes, it was both of you. And Tamar said, that's not good enough, bitch, because you were willing to die on the heel that it was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm apologizing to y'all. Was I emotional? Yes. I apologize for allowing my emotions to get the best of me about a person that y'all know I don't fuck with. Sending me a cease and desist and you helping him do it. So I look like the bad guy because I'm being put in an emotional situation. And that's what I said when she was able to explain it. Even though they were talking in code, it really helped me understand a little bit more what she was saying. You understand what I mean? Go back and listen to it. They don't say names, but she says, you always choose me last. You always make me wrong, even when I'm not. But she's saying, I came to that table wrong, right? I let my emotions get the best of me because of something that I knew this person did to me that you all, and according to her, from her perspective, I thought all of you supported. I thought all of you supported him in sending that to me. And so I came with that energy and I didn't ask you first. I'm sorry. I feel like Tamar knew that Trina was trying to break the fight up and not hurt her, although she touched her with her body. Trina didn't mean to harm her. Yes, so she says that. It takes her a minute to get there, but I think what she's saying is, you're always willing to point the finger at me first. So when she's saying you already chose a side when you gave him my information, even though Trina, when she says something like, did you give him my address? I think Trina had to search her mind like, no. Even that was wrong to do. Because if she told y'all not to give that man her address, for whatever the reasons are, because we haven't been let in on it, maybe it's something she's choosing to keep private until her mom passes away. I don't know. Sometimes people like to keep that kind of shit a secret, especially when you want to honor your mother or your father, right? We know this to be true. Don't play. But she felt like y'all came to the table with one set of armory and I'm trying to figure out who's on my team. That's what it felt like in the first scene. And that's what it felt like here. When she's accusing Trina of, you knew better than to give him my address, because she still doesn't trust Trina in this space. But Tamar says, listen, bitch, you did put your hands on me. I'm sure of it. And she might have thought that. She might have, because she was already on 10. So she screams out to the producers, I want the fucking tape. Let's see it. We're going to watch it together to see if you put your hands on me. So she takes the producers bring in like an iPad or a computer or something. And Tony's like, well, damn, I wasn't planning on staying here all night. Okay. This is the raw footage. He was like, yep, we haven't seen it before. But anyway, Trina's drinking and she's like, have you seen this before, Tamar? Tamar doesn't answer. She asks like 3 times. Did you see it before? Tamar won't say a word. She screams out to OG. OG, that's the showrunner. That's the showrunner. Have you seen this before? Have anybody seen this before? He said, no, you are all seeing it for the first time. And so Trina leans back and she says, cool. Okay. So after that, they're watching it. And I don't know if Trina said something to her, but Tamar looks at Trina and said, why do you hate me so much? Why do you hate me so much? This is how I know there's more going on that we just don't know. The audience don't know, but I really feel there's that abuse shit may have been in the house, not at the church. Okay. Anyway, she says, I think she calls her a liar. Tamar calls Trina a liar. You're a liar. I don't know what it is. You don't like me. Why do you hate me so much? And then Trina starts speaking Spanish and she calls Tamar a liar. And Tamar thinks that the word she used for liar, she thinks, I know that word. You called me a bitch. And she said, I didn't call you out your name. But at this point, everything is so out disjointed, right? But they finally get to watch the video all the way through. And Trina says, you can see me put my hand, the back of my hand, against your shirt or chest. I did not pull your hair. I did not kick you like you kicked me. And Tamar said, and I kicked the shit out of you too. I kicked you. I kicked the shit out of you, right? So she's like, Tamar, like literally, I don't even know where to go from here at this point. Anyway, Tamar ends up saying, for me, when you put your hand on me, it felt like a hit. Whether it was as soft as cotton or not, it felt like a Mike Tyson punch because I was in a situation where I was defending myself. And instead of you coming in and saying, Tony, that was too much running up on your sister, you made me the problem. And that's what she's trying to convey to her. And she's doing it, in my opinion, she's doing it better than I've heard her do it in the past. Because Tamar is so much energy, your eyes automatically look at her as the bad guy. And she said, bitch, I'm not the bad guy. This is not how it went down. And she's trying to explain it. Tony gets it. She said, we were both wrong. However, everything shouldn't be a fight. Why is everything a fight to the death? In confessional, Tony says, we never fought as children, which is shocking to me, because when y'all got into that little spat, not only did your sister Tawanda say, bitch, let's call the police and get this bitch locked up. Okay. Those are things you don't do against your family members either. Like I've never seen anybody in my family call the police on each other, and they fought all the time. They fought all the time as adults. But damn, those are the things you wouldn't believe to be true if that's what happened, right? They talked about that lady's mental health and that was wrong. Right. So they are attacking her in a way that is very painful for her. And she's just now, in my opinion, I don't know, but it looks like she's just now being able to find the words to say, this is why. When she's having this conversation with Tony, I think Tony connects to it. When she's having it with Trina, Trina doesn't connect to it the same way, at least not at first. But she's saying it felt like a hit to me. So I don't know what to tell you other than I felt like I was getting attacked from the second I walked in the room, knowing that you guys had knew about the cease and desist, Trina, that you had given this person the information to get to me with your lawyer and not talk to me about it. Because even if you felt you had no other choice, you was between both of us. If you felt you had to give him your lawyer's information and whatever else, don't you think you owed me a call too? Why am I like, she gets what she gets. I don't give a fuck. That's what she's saying to her, which makes sense. I get that part. I want to be considered too. And she's saying that. She said, Trina, if you ain't got no room for me, then say that. If you don't have any room for me, just let me know so that I don't expect shit from you. Who knows? You like the fact that she was more calmer to explain how she feels with her sisters. And I do feel like Tawanda was wrong telling Tony to call the police on Tamar. So she does say that. I agree with you. That was wrong to say call the police, right? Because they know more about it than we, the audience, know. We're going to look at it like that bitch is crazy. But everybody at that table knows exactly what's causing that lady to spiral. Period. Okay? And she is sharing that part without giving the details. Y'all know why that would affect me. Erica, yes, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Now there's no facts. So let me just say that there's no facts. I am just telling you what I saw and how I was reading into what they weren't saying, because it's real easy to say, listen, child, you gave him my address. You know, I don't fuck with him, blah, 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 blah. They were just talking over it in such a way as so that there wouldn't be any type of, I guess, legal issues later, because maybe he doesn't want to have that call out. And also, like I said, maybe Tamar's making a decision right now not to have that part of her healing because her mama and her daddy are still here and she's respecting them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that because families, they don't want to hear about the nasty brother, the fucked up uncle. They don't want to hear about it, period. Okay. And when people have bad relationships with a person and somebody else's relationship wasn't that, they will tell you that what happened to you never happened to you. Oh, he never did that to me, so I don't believe you. Bitch, what? You know what I'm saying? So it's that type of stuff. And that's going to be the way it is until the end of the time. But anyway, after all of that, Tamar basically gives an apology that Trina doesn't like, okay? She said, listen, girl, I thought you put your hands on me. Now that you've explained to me that you were only trying to separate me from Tony, I have no choice but to accept that. However, when you touched me, it felt like I was being mollywopped, so I reacted to it. And for that, I'm sorry. And Trina said, I don't accept that shit. Put it back in your pocket where you fucking got it. Don't apologize to me like that. And then you apologized to Tony and gave her the most sincere apology of all times. So Tamar goes, oh. Because right now Tamar's like, bitch, that's all I got for you. I don't fuck with you. I don't have anything else. I told you I kicked the shit out of you. And truthfully, if I could, I'd probably hit you again. This is what she's like. You can see it racing through her head. But Trina said, I don't receive it. Okay. You pulled my hair. You kicked me. I don't receive it. Trina said you got into Tony's face, but it's already been resolved. Shit. Tony said I got into her face first. Okay. Anyway, Tamar ends up saying, Trina says something like, that she was just trying to stop the sister fight. However they cut this scene, because it's cut wrong, she says something where Tamar says, you better take that back. But it wasn't nothing, whatever we heard as an audience wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? But she says something like, I was just trying to stop you guys. I don't know why it's a problem. And Tamar said, you better take that back. And she says it like through her teeth. You better take that back, kind of thing. And Trina said, I ain't taking shit back. I'm not taking nothing back. And then Tamar takes a deep breath. And she says that she apologizes, okay? Trina actually says, take back putting your hands on me. That's what she says. You better take that back. And Trina says, take back putting your hands on me. And that's when Tamar says, I take it back. I take it back. Now what? And then Trina says, I take it back too. And that was basically it. They just basically decide that they're going to let it lay because neither one of them are going to agree on anything. I personally saw more of Tamar's side than I did of Trina's side. I thought that Tamar did articulate herself better in saying, you guys know more here than we want to let the audience know. But in knowing more, why am I the person to know last? And I do believe that Toni didn't know. When she threw her hands up and said, I swear, I didn't know that there was a... And that could be because if that is her best friend, you know who the last person he's going to tell? Toni. I'm not telling you that I'm sending your sister a cease and desist. I'm not doing it. So that's how it ended. They basically show themselves having a better moment because, you know, the audience need to believe that they're moving forward. So they showed that they had cooked like a bunch of chicken and fish and all kinds of stuff, and they were eating, and they were making fun of Toni, saying that Toni likes to eat bougie, so we're not going to eat anything bougie. And then they brought in the blow up Towanda doll, and this time she had a bunch of like, what do you call them? The fire fries, the Andy's fire fries. Her whole mouth was filled with Andy's fire fries. Okay. And that's how they ended it. We all know that Tamar and Toni still talk. We've seen them talk on the phone, on social media. We've seen her hang out with all the people. But we have not seen her have any participation from Towanda. They don't seem to talk, and she don't seem to talk to Trina. Is there season 3? I don't know. That's a good question, but I can't answer it. I don't know. We'll have to see. Tamar said that she doesn't talk to Towanda at all unless they are on camera. So if she's not on camera, she'll never talk to Towanda. She talks to Trina, I guess, every now and then. Trina was coming to her house every week. And I know that if that started up again, that Trina or Tamar would show it because they want the audience to know that they're okay. But she hasn't done it. So anyway, I really like the show, and I hate that they are where they are. But for as crazy as everybody say Tamar is, I don't think she got there. You know what I'm saying? I think that something happened. Clearly something happened. And I think that when she's having these moments, because they don't know how to take care of her, they don't know how to handle her the proper way, her response is to lash out first. And she's just now learning, according to what we see on camera, to actually use her words and say, this is why. And I actually appreciated it. I liked it. So anyway, I know she's a hard personality all the same. She's a hard personality for a lot of people to like, but I think that this was her best season in regards to her relationships and how she was going to approach working them out. You know what I mean? Because we just see the surface stuff. We don't see all the extra things. But that's it, you guys. That was the show. Okay, so I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming over and hanging out for these last 3 episodes, child. Let's see. I've been on for an hour, 20 minutes. That's not bad. She be mad, but you love Tamar always. Yeah, she be mad. That's right. She be mad, but she handled her business. She handled her business this time. And yeah, we'll see what happens next. Good luck to all of them, because I know that has to be hard, but we don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank y'all for supporting me. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. Please hit my like button, share the video. Follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. Hype me up, please, and thank you as well. And I will be back with Married to Medicine, because that is the last of the reviews that I got to catch up on. So y'all come back from Married to Medicine. Make sure your notification bells are on. And until the next one, bye-bye.